Hello, hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we show you that trading is as easy as you make it on yourself. And that means whether you're using ICT, trend line, support and resistance, 5,000 indicators, 2 indicators, no indicators, or news. Like, trading is simply a matter of following consistent rules, and that's it. So, sorry for being a little bit absentee, as everyone in the whole world knows. Florida was hit by some crazy hurricane. Fortunately, our little area was pretty good, but there's a lot of people just suffering such devastation right now. So sending lots of love and prayers their way. But tonight, let's go take a look at, of course, the trades we looked at a couple of weeks ago and a couple new trade ideas for you. Obviously, we have to start with our disclaimer that says, I practice a lot in terms of the way of managed money, EAs, copiers, futures, Forex, everything in between from cryptos and stocks. I am big on high risk, high reward trading for this one side of the industry. The rest of my, investment journey does not necessarily match that. Obviously, none of this is considered legal, financial, or investing advice. Please make sure you're following your own, patterns, your own rules. None of that is meant to be that way. Let's see. I'm trying to look what other things we have. This is not updated. Go figure. We have a pretty big announcement coming. I'll have that out sometime this week in terms of our 6-figure trading coach US 30 copier. We have a new promotion going to help people just get a chance to feel what it feels like to make passive profits. And that means no VPS, no wondering if you missed days or trades, completely hands-free. Obviously, there's high risk involved, but if you can find a way to print money, even on a lower scale, you're making your money make babies. And that is just a skill set that is obviously invaluable. Like it's second to almost none. I won't say none, but it's definitely high up there on the spectrum. So without further ado, let's go take a look at our spreadsheets. Let me think and get the right one up. I'll talk about this for a second. And then I gotta get the other one up. But this is what we talked about this morning in class. Just as we're compounding, I'd like to do another small account challenge. So for anybody who's in our public or private community on Discord, there's a free one. Then of course there's our private community. But even in the free one, as we build this community, what I'm going to be doing is having another small account flip challenge, meaning I don't care what the starting balance is. We're going to set some rules and criteria. It's really participation based, but basically the company is going to be giving away cash prizes for everybody who participates. Again, the idea is simply not to show perfection. It's to show consistency. It's to show duplication. It's to show that it is possible to take very small amounts of money and flip it into large amounts of money. So stay tuned for that. But what we were talking about this morning, I'm all over the place today, was compounding even on this other side. And that's kind of where that US 30 copier comes in, or any passive kind of things you can do. You don't actually need a lot to have walk away, FU money, right? The kind of money that says I can live off the interest for the most part. If you have a pretty reasonably, upper middle class lifestyle, okay, you don't need much else. By then you're living on interest. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. You have the choice to live life on your terms. And that's it's a currency that no one else can take from you. So that's pretty awesome. But that's what we're talking about there. Obviously, that's going to equal a little bit over the 10% a month. Takes you about 3 years if that's your starting balance. And that's on the about 25% of the risk that we're usually taking, 50% on other accounts. So it's half as much risk, half as much as what we're performing right now, to give you an idea. So all really cool things. This is still the same spreadsheet we've been using for now over almost 100 trades. So about one more week, maybe 2, we're going to be at 100 trades. All of this has been done live, public on YouTube. So there's no editing, there's no backpedaling, there's no, well, she said, but this happened, well, this did, but this didn't work. All of it has been predefined. If I remember correctly, we spent the first couple of these videos saying, hey, we reserve the right to kind of manipulate the management a little bit until we decide. We decided pretty early on. This is all predefined. Stop loss is going at structure, which is on the 4 hour, because we're taking these on the 4 hour. We're always using 1 hour ATR cushion. You can, of course, choose 1 to 3 fractals back, totally up to you. That's going to be the difference in your 5 to 1 versus your 2 to 1. Some of them have been 8 and 9 to 1. Some of them have been 1 to 1 risk to reward. But all of that, again, predefined, right? Very, very predefined, saying you're always protecting, scaling out, locking, trailing, or closing within 25 to 50 pips, mostly because most people don't talk about just pips. They also ATR. I would prefer 1 ATR. And every single one of these have hit at least 1 ATR or 25 to 50 pips, right? Based off of whichever pair they are. Always make sure you're protective, some protective action at 1 to 1. This has been done. 100 trades live on YouTube. That's commendable. That doesn't even come close to what we've done in our private classes, which is awesome too. We've got over 1 million pips. I don't even know what it is right now. I haven't done the long-term standing spreadsheet in a little while. We did great this morning on NAS. It was beautiful. I missed half of my US 30 move, but it is what it is. So here's where we were. Last week, or I guess this was a couple weeks ago now, we took 2 trades. Okay, I took these also in some of our managed accounts. I took those also in my personal accounts. One of them, no drawdown whatsoever. Straight to profit, beautiful. Actually, I think I got those messed up. But beautiful, straight to profit, couple hundred pips, easy peasy. Whether you scaled out, scaled in, you had so many options. Ended up to be a great risk to reward trade and no nonsense, like none whatsoever. And of course, the other one, I think we sat still for about a day or so, and then we popped in at 50 pips pretty easily. CHF doesn't have a very large ATR, so if I'm not mistaken, that's like 2 ATR, but definitely not a bad way to be. So far, that's almost 30,000 pips, and I want to just highlight this again because it's kind of the focus of this week and maybe the next few months as we close out the final quarter of the year. We just talk about pips on a spreadsheet. We point at candles on a chart. We say this strategy, that strategy, this guru, well, the blah, blah, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is you having a consistent approach to the market to enter, a consistent approach to the market to manage, and you stay consistent with it. That's really hard. It's a lot harder than most of us humans think because there's so much noise out there. There's so many people who got the next pitch and the next offer and the next approach, and some of them are so good. Like, complete kudos to all of those people. I think it's incredible what some people are accomplishing, and of course what some people are appearingly accomplishing, right? Supposedly, and everything in between. Totally okay. What I want people to see is that if you have $500 and you followed along with this, even if you only risked 1%, you still did pretty darn good, right? S&P did not do that, and it's been a big year for all the S&P tracked indices, right? We've got 30 some odd percent, 37, 33. S&P did not do that this year. It has not done that in the last 2 years, right? Cryptos in some cases did not do this year or in the last several years. You did that low scale, small starting balance, doable, right? And I'm not trying to pitch the person who says you can make it work with 500, well, $50, $100. I think it's a little harder. I think that takes much more skill. But long term, overall, a little bit of leverage, reasonable risk management. This is literally what's possible. Now, mind you, that saved $500 is worth over 6 figures had you been risking 5%, okay? Approximately. And remember, there's fees, there's spreads, there's swaps. Nothing is exact. Some of these are worth vastly more because you could have scaled in, because they continued vastly beyond where we stopped tracking it at for our spreadsheet purposes at least. Some of them, barely tapped into those areas. So as many people have the negative things to say of what makes this impossible, there's plenty enough on the other spectrum that says this is very possible and even more likely to be even more profitable. So just something to consider. Let's go mid-ground, $1,000 starting balance. Let's go mid-ground, 3% risk per trade. That's your down payment in some areas. Obviously not New York or most places in the country more fairly, but it's definitely a good start, right? Hopefully that's your credit card balance is paid off and now you're saving 24% interest a year. That's definitely not a bad way to be. 5,000 mid-range, you've got your 6 figures. 10,000 mid-range, you've got your $250,000. That is not bad. As you look, this is life-changing amounts of money. And the most important part, this whole spreadsheet at 32 weeks, okay, that's how many weeks is accounted for here. I'm skipping every other week kind of approximately because there's been hurricanes, vacations, and everything in between. At 20, so that's at 20 minutes per one of these. 20 minutes. That took 9 hours to accomplish $1 million. 9 hours. I'm sure there's some other rudimentary kind of things that you had to worry about, but to accomplish 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. Not a bad way to be at all. The goal, if you're not there yet, might be 6 figures a year. But soon enough, my hope is to get 1,000 people whose next goals are 6 figures a month. Because that is freedom money. That changes your life, your family's life. It changes the trajectory of so many things. So that's enough on all that. Let's go take a look. Scroll back over. That was CHF. We're going to be looking at EURAUD, and then of course I've got 2 more. I think this morning we got NAS. That's about how we've been performing in our morning calls to give you an idea. Beautiful, a whole bunch of, actually we've had almost 100% win rate. We had 1 little baby loss, and that was a futures loss. So not bad. That was a futures only lost to 2. So we've been doing really, really good. So that's since July. Mid-July, we've only taken 2 losses. And again, all recorded. That's pretty cool. So we're working on it. We're doing the dang thing. And without further ado, let's go take a look at these 2 trades. And we've got 2 new setups for you tonight. Really excited about them. And let's go take a look. Okay. So here's where we're at. We had CHF for our time frame. This is where we looked. This is the one that kind of sat in drawdown for about a day. 1, 2, 3. So not even a day, less than a day. ATR on this pair is really small, so to say we've accomplished that 50 pips is definitely not bad. But from where we entered, we still didn't break the first level of structure, but are yet actual structure. So all that's still on the up and up. You can see that with your own 2 eyes. That's your 50-ish pips. Moved slightly more, but not without making this big pull down. And if you've already accomplished 3 ATR, okay, and again, for those of you guys not using ATR, that's fine. But 25 to 50 pips, you're locked, scaled, protected, or something. There's no reason to let it to give back this much. Now, by the time you've made this impulse, you've corrected. If you want to take another trade, that's your next 100 pips on the table. So easy, beautiful trade. Love it. Not a bad way to be. Very minimal sit still. Not a lot of drawdown. This pair is a little bit expensive. It has slightly more of a pip value than other pairs, just because of the chef. That's all. And that's one. The other trade we looked at a couple of weeks ago was EURAUD. I actually just placed a JPY trade in one of our copiers. I have been really avoiding JPY trades in any kind of mirroring services, mostly because the lot sizes vary so much between brokers. It's a mess. But this one, I did not trade. That's over 300 some odd pips, give or take, 320, 330, 310. No drawdown, straight to profit. Beautiful. Again, came down, still proved that we're going to respect this area and came back up. That's, gosh, 500. So if you waited for it to break, retest anywhere in there, that's your next 400 pips. That's beautiful. Awesome, incredible, easy way to be. And we're done. So I'm not doing these YouTubes for me. So a long time ago, one of the brand experts, they say, do something that's not about you or what you want, expecting nothing, doing nothing, but to show people what's possible. To teach something, to give of yourself. And that's kind of what I'm doing here on these Tuesday night calls, is to show people with doing nothing. Paper trade costs you nothing. This is something that you can use to change your life. It's not like starting another company where you have all these other elements that are outside of your control. Yes, we have some elements like brokers and platforms that can be tedious and just a mess. But in general, this is a skill set that will pay you across countries, currencies, places, platforms, and everything in between, right? Once you have the skill set, no one can take it from you. No one. So that's really the point here. But we're doing this not to show that Jenny can trade. It's to show that a really simple basal strategy with pretty basic management done consistently without consistently manipulating, hopping from strategy to strategy, looking for new ways to be, altering this, changing that, and next shiny object syndrome, you can be net profitable. And I don't know about you, but my goal is not to be the best chart reader or the best guru who has my perfect areas of interest. And let me get this straight. I do love my areas of interest. I love the way I mark up charts. But I don't care about that. I care that I'm net profitable. And that's what these YouTubes are meant to be, showing that you can too be net profitable. So tonight, we got 2 more. And again, the only purpose is go put these in a paper trading account. Try to be managing them with any management you can. I super highly recommend ATM. It's on cooltradingtools.com. Great manager. There's nothing else like it on the market. Definitely worth taking a look at. Of course, we have a free, very basal version 1 as an indicator or as an EA with everything 6-figure trading coach related, so you can get that as well. And of course, some of the platforms have their own based off of whether or not you're trading futures. So management is definitely at your disposal. Just make sure you're using some. The idea is take these trades, manage accordingly, and see what you can have in your account after 90 days. That's all. Don't care if it wins. Don't care if it loses. Don't have any care whatsoever. Just let it be. We're not trying to prove that this is better or worse than. We're trying to prove that you can be net profitable. So let's see. EURAUD. I actually entered a little early, mostly because I was waiting for Descript to hurry up and load. And it was like heavy breathing at my computer. It was really fun. So I went ahead and entered. But as of right now, I'm going to make this a green horizontal line. I couldn't find green this morning. I marked up prior to the candle that we're on. I'm looking for this to buy up. My areas that I'm going to be looking for, so we've got our golden strategy telling us it's a good time, right? We do have that continuation. Obviously, first and foremost, I'm going to be looking at that next high. I always target prior to that high. And to give you an idea, we've got that ADR high right here, which is kind of beautiful. If and when we break and close below here, I'm going to be targeting not just the highs, but prior to that high. And since this is really close to that zone, where am I going next? I'm going to see if we can get up into here. So it's a little harder to see with my crosshairs, without my crosshairs, I should say. But to give you an idea, that's going to be in there. That's where I'm targeting. It's going to be in here. That's where I'm targeting. So kind of like that mid-range, not just the high. I want that prior to the high. Because if something happens with that brokerage, slippage, spread, all the things, if we come within range and don't quite hit that take profit, I still want my profit and I want to be out. So as we get close to these zones, I'm making sure I'm locked, loaded, I've scaled out. I'm looking for re-entries if we close and break. So if I break above, retest and close, I like to buy it back up. Same thing here. So that's what I'm looking for on this pair. If we manage to break this level, I'm going to be coming into this level. Really simple. Over and over and over again. Otherwise, you've got one wave. Second wave is going to bring you into here. Pull back, and we'll get that next wave after that. Pretty simple. Not too shabby. Not too hard. EURAUD. Let's see if we can't get 250 pips out of it. 250. Anywhere in that. We'll take 200. We'll take the price is right for 200. Why not? AUDJPY. Little hesitant. So I love the way this looks. Okay. This is clean. This is easy. Beautiful trend line, right? We broke below it. We're staying below it. We retested. Now we're sitting here. Kind of love the way this is looking. I love, love, love that ADR low right there. How many areas are going to be right sitting here? The thing I don't love, just full description, whatever word I can't think today. It's been a long Tuesday. All this coding and stuff. It's been fun. But AUDJPY, I don't love how this is sitting. This is still a huge void in liquidity. This is a huge area for price to come up and get some. So here's where we're at on the weekly. We've already retested the grid percentage of that. So I'm going to trade this one very, very precautiously, mindfully, demure, right? All the things. Back to what time frame was I just on? That's the daily. Our most recent candle is bullish. We've retested. Right now we still have a lot of upward pressure. So treat this one really carefully. On this one, I'm not going to do all the same things. I'm going to put this here. Exactly where price is at. We're going to make it red. ATR on this is about 34 pips. So this time I'm going to mark up. Come on, baby. Red. I'm going to go ahead and mark up 34 pips down to show you where that first take profit is going to be. That means by the time we hit this level, I want to make sure I've scaled out of some of this trade, just mostly because you can make money in almost any market condition based off of how you manage, based off of if you have the capacity to manage. So that's 60 pips to give you an idea. That one little baby move, and that just brings you in here. I liked this area, but we don't even need that. To give you an idea, one ATR on the 4-hour time frame is only 34 pips. So let's bring that all the way into here. Try that again. That's 40. We'll stick with 40, why not? Zoom back out. That means I'd like to make sure, for example, if I went higher risk on this, I'm going to close out of a large portion of that trade here and let the rest run. If I did mid-range risk on this, I'm going to let it come down here, confirm, and break this. Right? We want to break up structure in a retest. We want to break that area in a retest. I'm going to sell this down even further. But for now, I'm going to zoom out one more time, make those candles kind of ugly, get my crosshairs out. This level is going to really line up with quite a bit from all the way back here. So not quite here, but we've got here, here. And if I went a little bit even uglier, this is a pretty significant level. This one, down in here. Let me get my little take profit. Go one more time. I'm going to have to go up to the daily to show you. This box that we can see, again, that's how I mark up my charts, is just areas of interest, right? That area of interest is significant from here to here to here to here to here. So I do believe if we are to sell, that's where we're going to be selling to. If we manage to break and close below, I'm just going to be looking at our next areas of interest over and over again. Really, really simple. That's going to be in here. I don't typically mark this up to that extent, but not on these calls anyways. But there you go. I'd be looking to see these prices react around this level. But figure of this move, that's 700 pips. So down into here is 3. This is going to be that's going to be pretty darn good. So we'll see. I do think it's easy. It's an easy win. It's not a high risk win to come get our first take profit. Beyond that, I believe that this blue target is going to be hit pretty easily, anywhere in that range. And then, of course, if we manage to break and close below, I'm going here. So we'll see. I'm okay with winning some. I'm okay with losing some, because at the end of the week, month, and year, I'm net profitable, and I don't need to decide that AUDJPY is my, that I'm always right. I need to decide that I can withdraw monies from my brokerage account. That's my only job here. So something to keep in mind. Hopefully that information is helpful. If these videos give you value, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Do all the things that YouTube says. Share this to the next person. It would be super, super helpful to me and to the community, which again, at the end of the day, is really all we're doing, is building a like-minded community of people who maybe are break even or better, right? They're tired of the noise. They're tired of getting lost in the different views of the market, and have finally decided to stand still long enough to collect a check, to perfect a skill set and achieve what they started out to achieve. But that's all I got today. Happy Tuesday. Please look out for another video coming this week. We'll see what the staff has going on, when they can get that edited and out to you. Really, it's going to go over some things in terms of copy trading, the various differences between using things like EAs of any kind, good, bad, and ugly, and APIs. It's going to go over perfecting those systems and strategies in terms of management. Most people fail these kind of things because they're overzealous and not just really conservative, right? And of course, is going to go over an offer that includes something we've been running now for the better part. I think I've had running for greater than 2 years personally. As a community, we've had it running for pretty close to 1, give or take. I think less than that. But still, remarkable results and life-changing possibilities for so many. So, happy Tuesday. Thanks as always for listening. Take care and God bless.